Hello everyone, hope you're all having a good afternoon. So I'm here to talk to you on behalf of Intellisense about a project we did in Kazakhstan for Altynalmas to create the digital mine at their Aktagai site. Firstly, a bit of an introduction. So Intellisense are an industrial AI company. You can see we started in 2014 and we now operate internationally. We have 5 offices, including one in Kazakhstan, where we seek to support our customers locally. Our goal is to make the mining industry efficient, sustainable and safe. We aim to do this through the creation of the digital mine, the digital plant and the digital market. How do we do that? So we take a process-specific view of the mine-to-market value chain. So we look at things like stockpile management, right the way through to heap leach, in situ leaching, grinding circuit and thickener circuit, just as some examples. And we've developed applications specific to those processes to optimize their throughput and their efficiency. In terms of our partnership in Kazakhstan, we are a joint venture partner with Tech Garden, who are part of the National Digitization Plan for Kazakhstan. Their aim is to put Kazakhstan at the forefront of Industry 4.0. They aim to do that through startup initiatives like Startup Kazakhstan, where they act as an investor for startups locally, but also bring national and international businesses on board. Part of our role as Intellisense is to be the national platform for Industry 4.0 in Kazakhstan, which means we have an obligation not only to support the mining industry, but also the other industries you see there. Introduction to Altynalmas now. So as some of you may know, Altynalmas is one of the largest gold producers in Kazakhstan. They produce 125,000 ounces of gold per year. They are also one of the 7 model plants which were sanctioned by the government of Kazakhstan to set an example of what digital technology could do to other companies in the mining industry. So what we're going to talk about now is the digital plant project specifically. First taking a look at the problem, followed by the solution, and then the results of the project. So the problem, first and foremost, whenever we work on a pilot project with our clients, we ask them to identify the process bottleneck which is most important to them so that we can optimize our efforts in efficiency and throughput where it has the most impact in the mine-to-market value chain. In this case, that was the grinding circuit. You can see some objectives and goals that were set by the client there. The reason for this was the grinding circuit, when it stops production, a production stop can typically be 24 hours, and you can expect a 2 to 3 hour window, both sides of that, at the start and the end, before operation is again put to a steady level. So you can imagine the kind of impact this has to throughput if it's not running as well as it could be. What you can see here is our solution. So the product is called Brains.app. It is, we call the real-time decision-making AI platform. So this is the platform where all of our individual process applications run. What you can see here is an example of an operator where he has a number of screens in front of him at a mine site, and he'll be looking at all the different process control variables at once. And the screen above at the top there is running Brains.app, the platform. Now what that's doing is up to 20 minutes into the future, it's actually telling him predictive analysis using operational data in real time, what's going to happen next. So we're able to guide and help make decisions in order to drive benefits to KPIs, key performance indicators, that were set by Altynalmas. So these vary on a customer basis. They set the goals, we push all the metrics towards them. One example of this is overload prediction. So this was crucial to the grinding circuit where we were able to predict and model overloads in real time by using historical data and variable flags that would predict when an overload would occur. And we're actually able to relay this information using feed variables back to the operator and raise alerts up to 20 minutes in advance so that he or she can start to make changes in real time to avoid those overloads. which of course has a massive benefit in throughput and efficiency for the circuit. This is just one example of what we would call a user story for our application. Other examples are using what we call ball charge model and line aware model. We can actually help predict and schedule maintenance so that we can avoid additional inspection stoppages to inspect line aware, which in the case of Altynalmas were happening once every week or 2 weeks. So rather than having those happen unnecessarily, we can use data to predict and monitor that remotely from away from the site. Furthermore, we can actually use what we'd call a data historian to look back at previous data and use that for metallurgists as a training tool, but also to find opportunity loss so they can see what could have been done better and make future learnings and changes. Finally, we're able to model financial variables in real time so that we can see the output from specific circuit and processes, what impact that has to the bottom line of the mine site, which we found is very useful for executives that want to look at a nice dashboard and see what's happening to the gold price and how is the grinding circuit performing today. In terms of the projects, we started talking to Altynalmas, the client, at the end of 2017. We were up and running, initiating the process in the end of 2018, around about November. Just 5 short months later after project start, we were rolling this out with the client, whereby we had trained models on their data set. We were receiving real-time data, and we started to do onboarding and training for different shift employees. Then a number of operators would be trained on how to best use the platform in the screenshot you saw before. We expect now to go live with the digital plant by the end of this year, and this is just one of 4 applications which will be rolled out to not only the Actagai site of Altynalmas, but also an additional site in the Kazakhstan region by the end of 2020. Finally, I want to talk to you about the results. So we were able to increase throughput of the grinding circuit by 15%, verified by Altynalmas themselves. How were we able to do this? Well, as I mentioned, one of the key driving factors was the overload events that we were able to predict and therefore stop future occurrences to reduce their frequency to production stops. We were also able to reduce the number of inspection stoppages, not only through the line aware model, where we could predict line aware rates, but also by predicting ball charge, so that when you have a number of balls operating within the SAG mill, we could predict what was going to be their charge rate without having to stop the mill and check, which typically takes about 2 to 3 hours of production time. At this point, I think we're taking questions at the end, but I'd like to take the opportunity to invite you all to go to our website, which is intellisense.io. We have the full case study available, where you can see more details. You can also request a demo on our website if you'd like to get in contact and see what our technology can do. Thank you very much.
Thank you.